Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And it's been a while since I made a live stream episode or a video. So today I want to talk about my opinions on the movie I watched in Northport. It's called Srpska, Struggle for Freedom. So it basically follows the events of the tragic events of what happened in Bosnia and before the civil wars and Yugoslavia. So basically, it was about the events that happened before Yugoslavia was created and after Yugoslavia was created. So they talked about that, and apparently, I watched it in Northport because basically we went to go see it in Northport because I wanted to check out this church service in Northport, how it works. Because prior to that, we went to the festival, Serbian festival, in Northport. That was actually in February, early February of this year. We went to go check it out over there, and I said, actually, my mother came up with the idea of planning to baptize me there, and so that's why I wanted to go see how the church service works and everything else like that. Uh, so yeah, church service was actually kind of interesting. So I also got to meet the priest of the church, Father Sasha, and I met him, and apparently we talked about maybe getting me baptized there, so or maybe being a part of that church. Because since me and my family are not connected to any church, I decided to maybe go back there to see how it works, and so we did that 2 weekends ago on March the 19th. That was we went to go see the church service for the first time ever over there. And so church service was kind of interesting. They basically had a bread there. The priest was giving out bread to everyone that was at the church. And so I took, no, actually, before that, they were actually, we were given this books to read. I read the book. They had the book in Serbian and English. I decided to read it in Serbian because I speak Serbian really well. And so there was actually people over there. It was actually a large church service. But later on, when the movie started, I there was a lot of people inside the other area that we were watching the movie in. So before the movie started, we went to inside. We There was food in there. I ate fish over there, so they had different food over there. They gave me beans and they gave me a bunch of other food that I didn't want to eat. I only wanted to eat the fish because I kind of like fish, and so that's why I ate some fish. And I decided to get more after I ate first the first two fish, and then like I ate it, and then the movie started. They played on the screen. So the movie was about an hour long. It had like four parts to the story. First, it talked about like the history of Serbia before Yugoslavia, and then it talked about Yugoslavia before World War II, and then during World War II, and then when it became a communist nation, and then when it dissolved in the 1990s when the civil wars in Yugoslavia had erupted or broken out shortly after the shortly before the Soviet Union came down and shortly before the Cold War ended. So that was a very sad and interesting film. I actually learned a lot of interesting information from that movie. I learned some new things from it because I didn't know any of those newer topics that I knew. So basically, I knew they talked about like the Winter Olympics in Sarajevo, Bosnia, but at the time it was Yugoslavia. And so that was held in 1984, February of 1984, and that area was destroyed during the Bosnian War when was taking place from 1992 to 1995. So the Bosnian War lasted for 3 years, and then the Kosovo would happen. That was when NATO was bombing Serbia, Montenegro, because because there was a war in Kosovo, obviously, and so the Serbs were massacring these Albanians under the forces of Milosevic, and so that's why So that's why NATO was bombing that area of Yugoslavia during that time. Or actually, communism in Yugoslavia at the time was already dissolved because the communist socialist Yugoslavia came down in 1992, a year after the Soviet Union had collapsed in the December of 1991. And so that's also the same time when the Croatian War of Independence started in 1991. That was also the same year when the Soviet Union dissolved, as I stated earlier. And so the leaders of Yugoslavia at the time during the civil wars was Alija Izetbegovic, who was the president of Bosnia Herzegovina, who was a Muslim, and then there was Franco Tuchman, who was the president of Croatia at the time, and then Slobodan Milosevic was the president of Serbia. So those were the three main leaders of Yugoslavia during the civil wars in Yugoslavia. But all those people are dead basically, because Alija Izetbegovic died in 2003. Franco Tuchman died in 1999, and then Slobodan Milosevic died in 2006 due to a heart attack. So, also, Milosevic was president during the civil wars, and he was removed from power in October 2000 when people who were against him decided to organize a coup and remove him from power. And then he was arrested in April 2001, and then he was brought to the criminal tribunal in June of 2001. And then in February of 2002, Milosevic's trial had begun in February 2002. And so Milosevic would be on trial, and he died in 2006, as I stated, and that was before. And he died in March of 2006. So that was before his trial could be even finished. So so a lot of people I talk to, who are from Serbia and ex-Yugoslavia said they have a different opinion on Milosevic, and that he was not actually responsible for the massacres in Srebrenica, the genocide in Croatia and Bosnia and Kosovo in the 1990s, and that he was a hero basically. So, and also they said that communism in Yugoslavia was much different than it was in Soviet Union or in Albania, East Germany, Poland, Bulgaria, and Romania, and all the other ex-Warsaw Pact, Eastern Bloc countries during the Cold War era. Because people say Yugoslavia, who were from Yugoslavia, said that life in Yugoslavia was actually good during that time. And so, yeah, my opinion on the film is that my question is that can there be peace between the Albanian and Serbian people in Kosovo? Can they treat each other fairly, and can there be no more hatred and prejudice against the two ethnic groups in Kosovo? So actually, that's been a debate between Albanians and Serbs that live in that area. They've been arguing over that area for a long time. They said Serbs say that that Kosovo belongs to Serbia, and then Albanians live there in Kosovo. But actually, I believe that Albanians are Muslim. Some are Muslim, and I think some are Christians, just like Bosnians or the Bosniaks, basically. So, my opinion on the film was actually it was kind of sad, the movie, because there was a lot of people died and a lot of people suffered during that horrible atrocities and the tragic events that happened in ex-Yugoslavia. Now what's happening in Ukraine, and that's kind of that is the same scenario that has been going on in Ukraine right now, because a lot of Russian and a lot of Ukrainian troops are dying in that area in Ukraine, and that's kind of the same scenario that happened in Yugoslavia. 20, 30 years ago. So that was very catastrophic what happened there. And so, yeah, I also met some new people at the church during the church service. It was very nice over there. And also, I saw the priest. The priest was at the church. I also met the priest's wife at the church, Slavica, who is the Father Sasha's wife there. And I met a bunch of other people there. And I also saw my Serbian neighbors from the pool that I talked with at the pool. I saw them at the church service, and they asked me if I liked the film, basically. And I said I liked, and then I said the film was pretty interesting. And then later on, I saw them last week. They asked me if I learned anything new from the film, and I said I knew pretty much all, but that was probably the wrong thing I said. So I mean, I learned some new things from the film as well because I didn't know much of what happened during that tragic events and before the wars in ex-Yugoslavia in the 90s. So I mean, I mean that was Tito was the president of Yugoslavia, so life during his era was actually kind of nice because Yugoslavia was a mix of West and East, so like capitalist and communist, basically. So and everybody in Yugoslavia could travel to the East and West. Basically, they had much more freedom and opportunity to do whatever they want than compared to a Soviet Union, which was a totalitarian state in which the media was controlled by the government and everybody else in that position. So, yeah, there was actually, and I also met with the actor who directed the movie and who was at the church. I met him at the church, and his name is Boris Maliguris. He's a movie actor from the Serbia, and he came to the United States to present the movie in Florida. The movie was had premiered in Northport. I went to the one in Northport, Jacksonville, Miami, and I think I said Jacksonville, yeah. And then also performed in all other parts of the United States, like Boston, San Diego, and other cities in the United States. He went there, and then at the end of the movie, the director had said that if you have any questions, you could ask them now, because he said before the movie started, he said that once the movie's over, you could ask questions about the film, about and if you have any questions about the movie. So yeah, during the movie, they spoke some Serbian and they spoke English. I mean, I understand both because I speak both of those languages very well. And so they had Serbian subtitles in the movie, and they also had English subtitles when the people were speaking Serbian in the movie. So that was actually kind of interesting to see because I mean, I already could speak Serbian really good. But on the other hand, people they had to add some English subtitles because some people don't speak Serbian, and some of the people at the church do not speak Serbian or they're not Serbians. So that's why they added some subtitles in the when the Serbian people were speaking in the documentary. So that was actually a good film. I actually had a good time there, so I'm thinking about maybe going back there sometime in the near future because I like their church service and I would like to potentially get baptized there in the church in Northport. So actually, that's going to take a long time before that actually happens. So yeah. But like today in that region, I don't know. The situation in Albania and Kosovo, sorry, in Kosovo between the Serbs and Albanians still continue to this day since the wars in the 1990s when NATO was bombing that area. And so they still continue to this day. But on the other hand, I don't know the situation, what it's like between the Bosnian Muslims and the Christian Serbs. I don't know what if they have any conflict to this day as they did 30 years ago. So I don't know what's the situation between the Bosnians and the Serbs. So anyway, if you enjoyed this live stream video, so please drop a like, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next live stream or video, and have a good day, and thanks for watching.